Ugly game from our perspective. Washington played a great game. They established aggression from the very beginning and carried it through to the end, and got to tip your hat to them. The way we played today is not acceptable. Not enough energy, not the right spirit. Obviously, not enough aggression, physicality. You can kind of go down the list.
Welcome, Pacers fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report for this week's Pacers Report with Mike Rich and Will Retherford, here to talk about trade rumors. And there are some what seem to be legitimate trade rumors out there. But as we know, Kevin Pritchard never does what the trade rumors say. So keep that in mind. Take this all with a grain of salt. But what I've seen is very interesting, and I wanted to run it by our Pacers guy, Mike Rich, and Will Retherford of Strictly Biased, his podcast, his reaction to Week 15 in the NFL will be out a little later today. So look for that. Wanted to run some of these trade rumors by these guys, and basically, the rumor is the Pacers are looking to fill the role at center immediately.
Of course, that's the key need for the Pacers. I still don't think that the current group or center by committee is working for the Pacers at all. Jay Huff, I think, was 3 of 7 or something, 3 of 6 from 3-point line again tonight. That's a watered down Miles Turner, and you got so many good pieces on that team that if we had a decent center, we would probably be winning about half of the games that we've lost.
And well, that's why I worded the question the way I did. Your thoughts on that? Because I'm not sure. The point right now, and the point we are at right now, is that the Pacers just got blown out at home by the worst team in the NBA on Sunday evening. A big loss to the Wizards. You're at the point now where you're not even thinking playoffs. I'm so ill prepared to talk about the current team. I don't even know what their record is, but it's one of the worst in the league, 6-19 maybe.
Like that.
And what we should be thinking about now is the future. Of course, Kevin Pritchard knows what he's doing. He's not gonna be listening to my input, but Will, do we want to upgrade a center right now? Or do you want to wait and do that in the offseason?
They shouldn't do a damn thing the rest of the year. Stop. Don't upgrade anything. Be as bad as you can be. It's a lost season already. Don't do anything. Don't do anything you're going to regret doing.
I certainly don't want them to be as bad as you can be. I want to see Aaron Nimhard continue to play some of his best basketball of his career. Of course, not tonight. Pascal Siakam is definitely playing the best basketball of his career. It's good to see Benedict Mathurin needs to have some trade value. So seeing him out there, I want to see some wins. I don't want to see it be, if they ended the season with 6-7 wins, I would not be happy with that. That would mean the Tyrese Halliburton's coming back to a team that's not worth anything.
I think the over-under would be like 19.5 right now, and I would probably take the under on that.
I think you're right. And I think that's good enough for one of the 4 worst records in the East. And I'd like to see some progress as well. I'd like to see them win some games and also have one of the worst records in the league. So it's kind of, like I've been saying all year, it's kind of a win-win.
And I don't
know. When they win, it's a sign of progress. When they lose, it's a better draft pick.
I'd like to see him get in the top 4 or 5 in the draft and build from the draft.
I just hope that Pritchard's guy is the right guy, because Jarris Walker pick looks atrocious at this point. He probably looks like a G leaguer out there on most nights, to be quite honest with you. He's lost. I don't know. I think that you want Ben Mathurin to play well. You want Nimhard to continue to progress. But it's like none of them are in the roles they're going to be in next year. So does it really matter? Nimhard's not going to be the primary ball handler next year. He's going to be the starting 2 guard when you have Halliburton back. You want people to stay healthy. You want them to, I guess, put up good numbers for their career and their legacy for them. But like, you don't you don't really want them to win a whole lot, and they're not going to. They're just as constructed. They're just not going to win enough. I think if anybody that looks at this Pacers team and thinks that Tyrese Halliburton isn't a top 15 player in the league, you just fooling yourself. His impact on this Pacers team is, just unbelievable. The Pacers are in a situation where they're going to have to decide, do we want to sit people down at times? Do we want to keep people healthy? Do we want to
keep Aaron Nesmith out as long as possible?
Yeah, I think
keep Obi Toppin out as long as possible. Yeah, that's where we are.
Nobody should be coming back unless they're 100% healthy, not even 99%. If you're 99%, sit another day, because it just doesn't matter. So you want to protect your future. You want to protect next year, because next year's the year that you think that you can go in and do it. I don't know what the Pacers are going to do in terms of their center. I mean, there's some trade speculation. I doubt Pritchard does a whole lot, to be honest with you. I think that he wants to see how Halliburton progresses, but they've got some tough decisions to make here, whether they want to trade Mathurin for probably what he's worth or let him walk.
Well, that's what I want to talk about. Well, that's what I want to talk about coming up here in just a minute. I don't want to talk about the draft because I've been talking about that a lot and how good it is at the top of the draft. And if you're going to have a bad year, this is probably the year. As we heard on the Bill Simmons podcast, they talked about it being the best tanking possibility since the Spurs got Tim Duncan for the Pacers, that they could turn the franchise around that much. So all of this is a good thing, but we're not here to talk about those guys. We've talked about them enough, and we're going to be talking about them for the next 4 months, the guys at the top of the draft. What we're here today is to talk about some trade rumors at center, so I want to get your guys' opinion. Let's do that here in just a second. All right, guys, some of these names actually really excite me when you put them next to Tyrese Halliburton, so that's why I wanted to bring these up. If they did make any of these trades, I agree with Will. I agree with you, Mike. I think losing right now is the best way to go. But if they made any of these trades, it would not disappoint me at all. And let's start with Walker Kessler. Your thoughts of him next to Tyrese Halliburton?
I don't know if he's a game changer, but he's an upgrade over what Miles Turner was for a roster that's essentially going to be the same. I think that his ability to be an offensive and defensive rebounder is going to definitely help. And you know what, Greg? I kind of like having Jay Huff as my change of pace center on a Pacers team, a real shot blocker, rim protector at the center position. So I like Kessler's makeup as you're going to get 17 to 20 and 10 rebounds a game. I think that's awesome. I think that his price is going to, be more of the question, or the Pacers willing to give up what it's going to take to get him. But I like his makeup on this team in terms of just strictly a pick and roll presence for Tyrese Halliburton. I think if you can increase his 3-point production at all, you really like him a lot. You can offer the pick and pop. If he's 7'2", probably not going to run the floor a ton, not going to be, kind of one of those 6'10", 6'11" track guys that just run up and down the floor and are dunking all over people. He's not going to be that, but he is going to be a steady heartbeat who can balance this Pacers offensively and defensively.
But you don't trade your first-round draft pick for him at this point, right?
No, I don't think so.
None of these guys, Jared Allen, Daniel Gafford, even Zubats, you're not trading that first-round draft.
No, I don't think so. I think at 4, you're taking your rolling the dice with who you can get there, 4 or 5, if that's where your draft position's at.
I just wanted to make sure we're all in the same. What about Mathurin? You give up Mathurin for Jared Allen or Walker Kessler?
I'm not trading Mathurin in conference, I don't think. I think I'm sending him to the West Coast. I don't want anybody with a vendetta against a team. I think he needs to go out west. Don't trade him to the Cavs, especially. He's one of those players you just don't want lingering. He plays with attitude, and he could be a thorn in the Pacers' back for a long time if they trade him to the wrong person. I don't love Jared Allen. I don't love him because I think in that Pacers series he got completely washed away last year, and I think that you're able to take him away from a game. Does he fit the mold that the Pacers need with the ability to shoot three-pointer, play sound and Defensively, yes, but I don't think I'm giving Matherin up for him. I think I'm using Matherin as a blue chip type of go get. I think Matherin for Walker Kessler, to be quite frank with you, is probably a trade I like a lot.
I like that trade too. That's what I was thinking. You don't want to trade him to the Cavs or anywhere in the division or even in the Eastern Conference.
He might average 30 points one day.
But he won't average 30 points a night. He
I'm
might
talking
average
about
30 points one day because he's showing it now. He's just too inconsistent.
But if he becomes a team's go-to scorer, you could really see him filling it up. I wouldn't say he's a great basketball player, but he's already verging on an elite scorer.
And I think he's got. I think that's what Pritchard needs to wait on, is where he is at the highest potential of trade bait.
The thing is, Will, Walker Kessler, Jared Allen, Daniel Gafford, they may be available now, and you might have to go get them.
That it doesn't make a difference. I say you don't. I think you still just see kind of what how Tyrese is recovering. How does he look? I just think right now, I don't know that I'm giving Matherin up early. I think that he's a trade deadline piece that might get you a great return, especially if he's averaging close to 24 a night. People, regardless of what you think about the NBA community, people are still going to look at his numbers. They're going to ignore that field goal percentage. They're going to see this guy scores 24 a night. He gets 5 rebounds. He gets 3 assists. We can work with that. Regardless of whatever.
If that's what you need for your franchise, he would be a great piece to add.
I like Matherin as your change of pace. I like him as the 6th guy because I think that his ability to come in and be a guy that can get to the line, can establish a bit of an attitude driving to the bucket, and he's relentless. Mike, to his credit, talks about the inconsistency, but if there's one thing I know about Ben Matherin, he is not going to be afraid to fire the ball up the next shot.
No.
There is no red light in his mindset. I like that, and I think a team likes that, especially if they're looking for that maybe B-level score. Not your top-of-the-line guys, but if you're looking for a high-end B-plus score, Ben Matherin is the guy for you.
That's right.
I think that's why he's better off the bench.
I think he shouldn't start a game the rest of his career, because if he's starting for your team, you're going to lose a lot of games. He's a guy you bring off the bench. I like him averaging 16 to 20 a night.
I generally agree with you, but it kind of depends on your team's makeup. He might be perfect in the right role at the right team. I don't think this is the right team for him.
The ball gets too sticky in his hands.
He's streaky good. There's times where he's just kind of lights out, and that's what you want to see night in, night out, or somewhere close to that.
Still pretty young. Consistency is what happens when you mature, and he's still not quite there yet. He's still really young and putting up big numbers.
He's unrestricted at the end of this year.
That's right.
And you have to trade him.
Or sign him.
Or extend him.
Yeah. Yep. They have to. That's what they've been talking about all summer, all year. This is make or break for Ben Matherin. I was surprised we even heard Carlisle say that the ball gets sticky in his hands, and we're watching that and to see if he fits into our team, and this is kind of his last chance to see if he fits in, and unfortunately it's a different kind of team, so it's kind of harder to tell, but I doubt that he will be back next year unless we want to pay him a big salary that he's probably not worth. Guys, the one I like the most and probably would take the least to get is Daniel Gafford. He might actually fit into the Pacers more perfectly than any of them. I love his game.
What do you love about his game?
He rebounds. He plays in the paint. He blocks shots. He also has a mid-range game. He's a kind of a cross between a traditional center and a modern-day center, and I really like that. That's kind of what I think the Pacers are looking for. And I don't think he'd be nearly as hard to get. He's not as good of a player as Walker Kessler or Jared Allen, but he might fit in better and cost less.
27 years old, 6'10".
I don't think you bring Daniel Gafford in to be your starting center. So
Ooh, awfully good, man. He's
It's tough. I
athletic.
mean,
He can run the
he's one of the
floor.
he's a tough one. He's a tough one because you see the tape and you say, "Hey, this is the guy, athletic intangibles, goes and gets the ball." And I do like his 15-foot game. My issue with him, more or less, is he going to stay healthy? Is he consistently going to show up for this team? Is the team right for him? I don't know. I don't know. And I think those are questions that have to be answered by Pritchard, by Carlisle. You know, what does his defined role look like on this Pacers team? Because I think if there's not one, you don't pull the trigger on a guy like him, even though I do agree. I think his price is cheap right now because of the issues that he's having in Dallas.
Just goes and gets you double-digit rebounds every single night, takes good shots, doesn't try to do too much, runs the floor, kind of exactly what the Pacers need.
I would like somebody that averages a double-double.
And he will do that for you.
You think
How
he
many
can?
years? Oh, yeah, especially if you gave him starter minutes. And when he's had that in his career, he's been good. He's been really good. Of course, he spent most of his career behind really good players. So.
And he's coming off the bench in Dallas now.
Yes. And not playing nearly as big a role.
And still averaging about 6 or 7 rebounds a game. And
he's had double-digit rebounds in every game pretty much that he's had significant minutes.
Yeah, put a 6-7 in there. What do you know? Is that who you would trade Matherin for?
No, I think you have to get better than that for Matherin. If you're going to get Matherin, then you might as well upgrade at center. I'm talking about getting Daniel Gafford for something like Jarris Walker and some second-round draft picks and Obi Toppin, something like that, if even that.
Don't let Obi go. You want him on your team. He is the perfect bench guy. He's as untouchable as a bench guy I think as there is. He's more untouchable to me than McConnell. His ability to run the floor, he was pivotal in that Pacers playoff run.
All right, guys, thanks so much. I don't think we're going to be probably doing a ton of reaction podcast with the Pacers playing like this, but we will do it when it's important, and we will definitely have a Pacers report every single week with Mike Rich and guests. And on Thursday, we will be reacting to the Knicks game. So I hope everybody will join us for that, win or lose. Appreciate it as always.
The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.